This is Money, Motivation, and Mike, and I am your host, Michael Wainwright. In charge of all the controls is Jason Wright. And hello to you, world. This is the show that can and will change your life. As you recall, over the last episode or two, I'm going to say about 2 to 3 episodes, actually, I was big into the word free and trying to decide if the word free is actually a number and not a word. We also got into buy one, get one free. And obviously, this is the manipulation of the mind when it comes to the sales force. Jason brought one to my attention today, and that was prices ending in 99 cents feel cheaper than prices ending in 00. Even when identical, our brains round down the left digit, not up. So $99.99 is a whole lot cheaper than $100. Doesn't make any sense, but that's the way it works. Manipulation of the mind. What was that word you told me about, Jason?
The placebo effect?
Placebo effect.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. You know it's fake, but it obviously works because we allow it to work. All right. What are the worst habits that we don't even recognize? 9 silent habits that waste time and hold you back every day. All right? The best way to grow is to recognize and ditch them today. Now, I'm going to bring some up to you, and then you can figure out which ones are a part of your life that you should correct right now as you listen and view this particular episode of Money, Motivation, and Mike. Number 1, people pleasing. People pleasing drains energy and self-worth. You're a people pleaser. That means you're everything to everyone. You cannot be a people pleaser all the time and live the life that you want to live. And the energy draining part, you think about a spouse. You've got a dominant spouse and you have a not so dominant spouse. And the not so dominant spouse is always trying to please the dominant because they know that the dominant wants their way, going to get their way and do whatever it takes to become whatever their way is that day. So there's very draining, and that's just one example. How about obsessing over mistakes? I used to do that. In the first 11 years of our accounting business, I'm going to say I could not get past 5 mistakes that I can remember making. Now, why I say 11 years is because that's when I started adding on staff. And the more you do something, the more opportunity there is to make a mistake. And if you are obsessed with making mistakes, then you can't grow. You have to realize that we're not perfect. Said not everyone's perfect. No one's perfect. And once again, Sam Walton, if he wasn't prepared for mistakes, there would have never been a second Walmart. And look how that would have changed. Okay, another bad habit. Now, I'm kind of iffy on this because I feel like I can do this and do it to where most things get done. Jason, that is multitasking. Multitasking. I mean, there are literally people who can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Mm-hmm. And we always use that as a joke, but it is a great example of what people can't do. Most people cannot do more than one thing at a time. And multitasking gets them into a bad habit that puts them in a position of not being very successful. Multitasking supposedly kills focus and lowers output quality. And I would say that's true for most people. There's always a few exceptions to the rule, but you got to prioritize and time block and tackle tasks one at a time. And I mean, you can't mow and weed eat at the same time. I understand that. But do you feel you can read and also listen at the same time?
Not at 100%.
But something's going to suffer.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Number 4, dwelling on something is very uncontrollable. You dwell and dwell and dwell. Jason, we have family members that are still talking about stuff that happened in the 1970s. They will not let it go. They dwell and dwell and dwell.
Hung up on it.
Oh, man. Worry. They call it worry and waste. Wasting precious time and energy is what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But worrying waste. There you go. That's your 2 words for the day. Your phrase for the day, worrying waste. I like it. Focus what you're in control of, where you have the power, and release the rest. Because things that you dwell on, things that you worry the waste on, don't mean a hill of beans to the other person. And that goes along a lot. Here's another big deal that is a silent killer, and we touched on this last episode back on Monday. Procrastination. Procrastination blocks progress and builds anxiety because you don't ever go do it. You just keep procrastinating. And the more you procrastinate, the more anxiety it builds. And all of a sudden, the fear of what I've got to go do is much bigger than what the actual task at hand is. And that's what procrastination does for you. Other than it just blocks your progress, it also builds other things as well. You got to break tasks down. You got to start small and stay accountable. Procrastination, nowhere to go but up. And you got to get rid of procrastination and get rid of that silent habit immediately. Number 6, we prioritize the wrong things. Now, I know that's a matter of opinion, but a lot of things get prioritized. Here's an example. And this is a big one that we'll continue to talk about in January. As we talked about before, in January, everybody goes out and signs up for a new gym membership. And then they pay for that membership the other 11 months that you don't ever show up for. But nevertheless, prioritizing the wrong things. Procrastination, I'll go tomorrow. So I'm going to prioritize my workouts because, number 1, it's better for my health. Puts me in better shape. I have more energy. I can do more things. All that comes along with better health. But we don't prioritize our health. As a matter of fact, we are the United States of America is the most obese country in the world. Do you know that, Jason?
I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to align our task with our goals and cut low value work. And priorities have to become the positive priorities, not the negative priorities. We cannot prioritize the wrong things. Eating Twinkies before instead of or before I go work out is probably not a quality priority. Maybe it is to you, but it's probably not to the general public. Number 7, have we all struggled with this one? Holding a grudge. Grudges drain energy. They block your peace. Forgive, let go, and reclaim your mental space. Now, that doesn't mean when you hold a grudge and you let that grudge go that you set yourself back up to have another negative experience come your way from that same person. Maybe your shield should be a little bit higher. That forgive and forget, would you say forgive and forget is about a grudge? Probably so. And some of us, including myself, have held on to grudges for a long time. And what does it do? It just drains you. It just drains you. Once again, the person on the other end that you're holding the grudge against probably does not care. They frankly might like the fact that you hold a grudge against them because then they don't have to mess with you. Had never thought about that way, have you?
Have not.
That's why you have to come on here and do this thing, Money, Motivation, and Mike, Jason. It is a very educational process, as 231,000 people can attest to today. Number 8, comparing yourself to others. Now, what is the number one thing that parents do wrong when they're raising their children? They compare their children to other children. That kid runs faster than mine. That kid's smarter than mine. They're bigger than my kid is. I don't know what's going on. And you go and compare your child to another child when you should be just focused on your particular child and the positives and the things that they do good. Because I promise you, they do some things good that the kid that you're comparing your child to don't do good. Sometimes the broad surface, just because they hit the ball a little farther. Maybe they do the spelling bees a little bit quicker. There are a whole lot of other things that your child does good as well that child can't necessarily do. But we only see, Jason, the things that other people do better than what we do. So there's 10% of the things that you do better than me, which means there's 90% of things I do better than you. But I'm going to focus on the 10% because I don't want you to be better than me at anything. And that is a bad way to go. You talk about draining. You could go in there. Why can't you hit the ball as far as Paul can? How demoralizing and the confidence draining a comment such as that would do. Could you imagine telling your pretty little daughter, you're probably a 6 on a scale of a 10. What do you think that'd do to her? She might be the best looking child in North America, but to you, she's a 6.
Be devastating, I would think.
It would be devastating.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And number 9. The listening and viewing audience can all relate to this. Complaining. Complaining keeps you trapped in negativity. Shift to problem solving. Practice gratitude. Complain. And here's another good example. Officiating in youth sports events. There's a lot of complaining going on right there. And to the point where you can go and look at it on YouTube, it gets physical, it gets ugly, it gets nasty, words are thrown, complaining. Someone did something 99% correct. And the 1%, that's what we focus on, and that's what we complain about. So, which of these silent habits will you start changing today? Hopefully all of them. Wouldn't expect for you to do all of them. But there are some that you know that you need to work on. And what? People pleasing, multitasking, procrastination, holding a grudge, comparing yourself to others, complaining. I mean, those are things that all fit right into our daily habits. And those have to go away for us to, we first have to focus and realize we have these problems. And then we can realize what we need to change with these things. One of the things I didn't mention there, obsession over mistakes. I mean, people just cannot handle failure. And if you can't do that, you probably need to make a change. So the 9 silent habits that waste time and hold you back as an individual. As always, please comment, and you can contact us at info@mx3.vip. You can find all of our content at mx3.vip or on a YouTube channel, youtube.com/@mx3podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified of all of our new content, which Jason puts out every Monday morning around 9 o'clock. Always go down in the comment section and leave us a comment. We always love to hear from you. So, continuing to work on the silent habits that waste time and energy and hold you back. So for everyone who's been a part of this show, Money, Motivation, and Mike, continue to live your life the right way.